We're here today with Anthony Field. He is the founder and frontman for The Wiggles. And there's a new podcast out. It's called Wiggle Talk, a podcast for parents. Anthony, how are you today?
G'day, Dustin. Good, mate. It's tomorrow night in Sydney. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and it's great to talk to you, mate.
It's great to talk to you as well. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, great, mate.
Well, the Wiggles have a new podcast out, Wiggle Talk, a podcast for parents. Can you tell the listeners a bit about the new show?
Yeah, well, the Wiggles, Simon and Lockie and myself, we're all parents. Lockie has got twins. They're 2 years old. Simon has a little toddler boy named Asher. And I've got 20-year-old, 19-year-old, and a 17-year-old. But we come together every week and make a podcast about tips for parents. It's called Wiggle Talk, and we have experts come in and talk about various challenges that parents face. And the objective of these podcasts is to make parents feel better about themselves and understand they're not alone and there are ways around any of the challenges that they face as a parent.
And I know you guys aren't just musicians who are making music for kids. You've got real background in child education, and then you've got experts on every week, so this is the real deal here.
Oh, mate, yeah, I'm early childhood. I'm an early childhood teacher. That was my trade, and Murray, Greg were as well. But the thing is, we get professors in language development. We also had a celebrity guest last week, which was the crocodile hunter Steve Irwin's widow, Terry Irwin, came on. She came on to talk about grief. She lost Steve, and tips for her. She had to tell Indy and Robert as they grew up about their father wasn't around, and it's a really emotional episode because all families suffer loss. Whether it's a child losing their pet dog or their pet cat, or grandparents, or even sadder parents, to go. That was a very good podcast because sometimes people, especially in those situations, feel alone and feel like the light will never come on again. We've had also subjects where experts have talked about tantrums. Every child has a tantrum, and they talked about the tips for whether it's an embarrassing tantrum, like if you're at the supermarket and your 3-year-old has a real meltdown and people are just gathering around looking at you with judgmental faces. What do you do about that? So there's all sorts of wonderful tips that come along from these experts, and we, as parents, we give our little failures and our successes as well, because we all learn from our failures.
Definitely. It sounds like a great show for parents. And of course, you guys are still making music for the kids as well. And I know it's not easy to write music for kids that they'll love, but you also got to know the parents out there will be hearing the songs on repeat every day as well. I mean, that's a whole other layer for you guys to write songs that both of them can enjoy.
That's so true, mate. Even with early childhood literature, if there's a good book, parents don't mind reading that book to the children. So, Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak, you would enjoy reading that to your child because it's such good quality. It's the same with early childhood music. We try and make music that parents hopefully would enjoy it even without the kids in the car. So, you've got to make music that's substantial and simple and good for children, but also quality.
And I know the Wiggles are going on the road here for the Bouncing Balls tour, and the live shows are way more than just a regular concert. It looks like a lot of shows are already on their way to selling out as well, so that's awesome.
Oh, mate, it's great. Tickets are selling well, and it's going to be the first time we've been in the States for quite a while, and we can't wait, mate. We're so excited about coming over. And the shows, we have a live band. We all play the music. We've got drums, guitars, keyboards, bouzouki's, bass guitar. We've got all the singers. We've got Captain Feathersword, Dorothy the Dinosaur, all the wonderful characters that the children know from the TV or from YouTube. And we just can't wait to get out there again, mate.
And you're performing with your daughter now as well. That's got to be like the number one best moment of your career for you, I imagine.
It absolutely is. And my daughter was Lucia. She was at the Australian Ballet School for boarding there, so I didn't see her for quite a few years. And she's got such a beautiful voice. She's such a great dancer. But the good thing is, the best thing for me is I've got to know her as a young adult. And we're so much closer now that we've toured around together. And she's experienced what I've been doing all my life, and she understands me a bit better, I think. And I've got to know her, and she's such a good child. You know, she's such a good. Well, she's an adult now, but she's such a good kid. You know. Mm.
Well, Anthony, you've been performing with the Wiggles for more than 30 years now, and the crowds are parents who grew up with you, and they're bringing their kids. And I'm guessing soon you'll see probably grandkids in the crowd as well.
Yeah, that is true. We do get so many parents in the audience who came when they were 3 years old and 4 years old. And Captain Feathersword, Paul Paddock, he joined the Wiggles about 28 years ago, so he's old enough to remember the old days. And we are so proud that we're still going, and that parents who grew up with us are still trusting us for the education of their kids or entertainment. It's great, mate.
Well, does it add pressure to you knowing that you're probably the first live music or concert experience for most of these kids in the audience? I mean, you could be the inspiration for a lot of budding musicians out there.
Yeah, and it's a real responsibility, and we do realise that this is a big moment for a lot of children and for the families that they're going to their first concert. So we try and make it a really good concert. You know, we really do. We work so hard to make it a really enjoyable show. And we also understand that parents getting to those shows, it's a lot harder than going to an adult show. You've got your strollers. You've got I'm just trying to work out, what do you call, we have nappies. I can't remember what you call nappies in America. Do you know nappies, what nappies are?
It's been a while for me. I'm not.
Oh, diapers.
Diapers, yeah.
Diapers, yeah. So parents coming to the show, they've got the stroller, they've got the diapers, they've got the food. It's not as easy, and they have to walk all that way from the car park with their child, and it's not as easy. It's a bit of a trek. So again, we realise that. So we've got to make the show the best ever.
Excellent. Anthony, it's great. The podcast is doing so well, and you guys are back on the road, and it's been an honor speaking with you. Thank you so much.
So, mate, good to talk, mate. See ya.
And again, that was Anthony Field of The Wiggles. The new podcast, Wiggle Talk, a podcast for parents, is out now. And The Wiggles also hitting the road for the Bouncing Balls Tour.